Hey Leo, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so keep that in mind as you watch this. And take what works, leave what doesn't. If I don't catch your wavelength or storyline here, check your other major placements. And we're starting off with the Oracle decks for an intuitive eye, and then we'll move to the Golden Tarot for a more traditional spread. All right. Oh, cool. Cancer just got this one. You are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. You are worthy of the work. You are worthy of love. Don't be too picky or too humble. I also have been thinking about the concept of you are whole, right? You arrived here with everything you need. People that are looking for compliance for their belief systems or their family values, or people that are trying to sell you something, are going to tell you that you're incomplete and you're not whole, and you need them, and you need something that they want you to do. You need to do that. Excuse me, I'm having some sort of hiccupy thing here. But you were born whole. You were just like every other animal and every other creature of this earth. You were born here whole, complete, with everything you need. You're not missing things. You don't need to push yourself or strive to be better. I mean, we also have another non-pushing situation. You don't have, I mean, not striving, like we grow out of the joy of growing, right? But we don't grow because we suck as is, and that we're terrible and we don't have anything. Like, that's part of what can motivate us to grow, actually, is feeling like we're worth the work, or feeling like we are worthy of that work. So you are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. The answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. So something may be revealed here that you haven't been able to see before or understand before. One thing I like about this card is that there's a little bit of passivity to it. The answers you need are coming. This doesn't mean you're not asking questions. This means, but there is a sense of allowing the universe to bring to you what you need. So the answers you need are coming. There might be some sort of indiscretion here in a conversation. Someone might accidentally reveal something, but truth is going to be revealed through some kind of communication or conversation. Your eyes will be open to something that you previously haven't been either able to see, right? Right here we have this very relaxed Virgo with her eyes closed. Now we go from eyes closed to eyes open. Eyes popping open here, being able to see something and understand something. You also have dance with life. Do something to change your energy. So shifting that energy, that can be done on a couple different levels. We can talk about breath work, shifting the energy. There's a couple really cool apps that can... prana breath comes to mind, that can help you sort of shift through breath work. We also have moving your body is another great way to change your energy. Dance is hugely important way to change that energy. So and then there's also music, and there's thoughts, changing your energy by changing your thoughts. So there's a lot. And then I also love, so that's do something to change your energy. Dancing with life. Using the resources that do come to you and using your skills with those resources, rather than waiting for something absolutely perfect to occur and then saying everything's perfect. But there's a dance with life. We're asking for this. We're receiving sort of this. We're asking for this. We're receiving a little bit off, or maybe something totally different. But that's a little bit of the dance, right? When we dance with someone, they're not doing everything the way we would do it. They're doing things the way they would do it, and we're doing things the way we do. And then we try to combine those things and move together. And that's a little bit with the universe and life. We're trying to dance and combine those things and move together in harmony with what's with the energy that's being offered. We're offering our energy. So I love the dancing with life, making this all a dance, rather than someone controlling and someone being in charge. Not a hierarchy, but a dance. What's interesting about ballroom dancing, I've taken many years of ballroom lessons, and one thing is that the man only leads with the consent of his partner, right? So there's not, if you don't want to follow, you don't follow. So there's something about that energy and that cooperation, working together, while also bringing totally different energies to the situation, to the ballroom, to the situation. And I really love it too, because you get to know people very quickly, at least their vibe and their energy and how they move through the world very quickly. Are they digging? Are they controlling you? Are they pushing you around? Are they just sort of sloppily scared to touch you and don't really want to do anything? Like, there's such an interesting way of reading people in that space and how they're doing things. And then as you move through dance partners, they're all just so different and the energy is really different. Actually, it's kind of hard to imagine, like, even wanting to date someone that you hadn't danced with before. You're missing huge amounts of information. So that was a little rabbit trail there. So let's move on to the Golden Tarot. All right, Leo, past, present, inner landscape, what's at issue, your environment, to-do list, possible outcome. We have the High Priestess here, and what I think is really interesting here is that the Hierophant, or counterpart, the High Priestess is all about the spirituality, and the Hierophant is all about the structure around that, right? The Hierophant is the church, and the Hierophant is the rules and regulations and the structure, and the High Priestess is the core spiritual idea behind that. So I find that interesting that while I was chatting with you, I had put the deck upside down and saw the Hierophant, and now we have the High Priestess, this counterpart energy here. Both of them bringing something to the whole, their own energy. And as I was talking about the Hierophant, I was thinking about the structure of dance, of specific dances, and the movements, and the, specific structure of ballroom dance, and the specific roles and the specific movements and all of that. And then sort of through all that, within that structure, you can get so much energetic information that can come through this, like, this Hierophant structure, I would call ballroom dancing, with these rules and requirements, but you do get that energy that comes through that. So even though there's this structure, there's still this intense, I think, energy exchange and a lot of knowledge. So this High Priestess can come through, her energy, her information, her spirituality can come through any structure, right? And in fact, with ballroom dance, that structure itself actually enables the energy exchange, because it's almost like it takes out all the other variables, and all that's left is the energy between the two people. And so we have the High Priestess in your recent past. This is spiritual sort of secrets. It's a little bit like the Moon card, only, to me, sometimes, only it's a bit bigger. It's what can be known, what can't be known, the spiritual path, what can be tamed, what cannot be tamed. It's got a very similar vibe to the Moon card. But the High Priestess is, it's interesting that this is in the past. There's probably something in your past that you really don't understand. There could be an energy back there. There could be an event back there that's confusing to you. You don't understand. Information was withheld. You weren't meant to understand it. The High Priestess, to me, often talks about the tarot deck itself and the concept of tarot and the things that tarot doesn't want us to know, doesn't want to tell us, because we have this whole journey we're on. It's not like sometimes we consult tarot like it's the back of the math book with all the answers. Well, you got to show your work. So those answers don't do you a lot of good unless you're showing your work, right? So we sometimes turn to tarot because we're actually like wanting the answer, but that's not the whole point. The point is the problem. The point is you working through the problem. The point is you learning how to work through the problem. And the point is you knowing that you know how to work through the problem and having that confidence. And then you check the back of the book to make sure you got it right. Okay, I got it right. But it doesn't do you much good if the assignment is to show your work. You can't just, it doesn't do much good. So you can't level up if your math assignment is just you wrote down the answers you found in the book. So the next chapter, you're going to be lost as hell on the next chapter because you didn't figure out how to do the work and how to find the answer yourself. So that's the High Priestess here. You had to do your own work. You had to find the answer yourself. You may have even consulted tarot, and tarot was like, listen, I could give you the answer, but you won't be able to go on to the next chapter if I do. So And that's literally not what you want. So this High Priestess here is about something in your past that was unclear to you. You didn't have the answers here. You didn't know what to do. The answers might have been withheld from you intentionally, either by the divine, by tarot, or by somebody else. You had to figure out your own way and your own path. You got some hints, some clues here, some idea, but you mostly had to figure it out yourself. It was a closed book test. You had to come in memorizing your work, fully prepared. This all seems about preparation to me. There's something in your past that was preparation for something you don't know is coming. Some things were revealed to you, just enough for you to prepare, right? The lesson was taught, but the answers were not given. So we have in your current situation, temperance. Something is requiring a lot of patience. There's an adjustment period. There's something about divine timing here. Also with temperance. Temperance has to do with timing, adjustment, getting used to something, bringing a couple different concepts. Like when something shocking happens, it takes you a while, it takes you a couple weeks to adjust to the new reality, to adjust to, the new reality of someone having passed. So it can be so shocking to get that news. And then it takes a long time to adjust to it, and maybe sometimes you never feel like you do, but there's an adjustment period going on, and there's divine timing. There may be, again, with the High Priestess, we got that you were getting some messages, but not the complete message, because you got the lesson, but you didn't get the answers, because you need to apply the lesson. Temperance, there's messages here as well. As you wait, there's going to be some messages coming in of encouragement, and as you wait for something, right? Oh yeah, look at this. This is the answers you need are coming. This is really funny. The answers you need are coming. I did not connect that. Yeah, I mean, the answers are coming. You got the problem and you're working it through, because that's your job, is to work through the problem. The answers you need are coming. You're going to get there. You're working it out. You're finding the answers. You're doing the problems. They're coming. They're taking their sweet time, but they're coming. And they're on their way. And in the meantime, you might be getting a little like, we're just going to go with the math lesson here. You're getting, you're maybe like, hey, Teach, I'm stuck on this part of the problem. And Teach is going to come in here. You're going to get some sort of message. Okay, all right, this problem, actually, you're going to have to go back a couple chapters. I hope you did the lesson there. And take one of the tricks you used in that problem and bring it forward into this chapter, right? That's why we can't skip the chapters with math. Because it all builds on each other. So then in your hopes, your fears, your inner landscape, we have this Knight of Wands. Knights are communication. This is really funny. This reading is really cracking me up, in case you hadn't noticed. But this Knight of Wands, this is fast communication, quick answers. I mean, you want to look to the back of the book. You want that quick answer. You want that message to come in fast, quick. There's a party that just does not care about this lesson, does not care about this problem, does not care about showing your work, doesn't care about working it all through. Just give me the damn answer, please. And so in your hopes, your fears, your inner landscape, you've got this Knight of Wands. You want that answer to come, and you want it to come yesterday. Knight Wands would be a really quick energy. Knight would be communication. So you're looking for answers and you want them now, and except for the universe is like, yeah, well, we're going to take our time here. So the universe is taking its time, but you would like to know something now. You want the answer right away. This is really... And then we have this Chariot card in reverse for what's going on, the situation, the issue. Chariot in reverse. Oh, I think you're struggling with this problem. You want the answer, but I do think you've got to ask different questions or ask other questions. You want the final answer, and what you're supposed to be doing is finding just the next question, not the final answer. You're trying to rush to the end here. You're reading the last page in the book. You want to read the last page in the book. You don't want to go on the adventure. You don't want the whole story. You just want the end. Who lives? Who dies? Do they get married? The end. You just skip into the end here. Because Chariot's going to be in the upright, a journey, maybe a slow moving journey, getting all your ducks in a row, or your swans in this case, and moving forward with a plan, being able to move forward, but you can't move forward. You're not moving forward. You don't have your ducks in a row. Things aren't lined up. There's something, your long division is like all over the map. You've lost the columns here. You're totally off grid here, and things aren't lining up. So something's not lining up, something's not moving forward. We have this wish for something to move forward very quickly, this desire, and we have temperance of things not moving forward, things taking the time they take. You know, you want to speed through this lesson, this book, this novel, this math lesson. You want to speed through it to the end. And it's not going that way, and it's barely even moving at all at this point. It's barely moving at all. Then what's in your environment? 8 of Coins, a lot of work. This is good work though, but it's focused work. It's absorbing work. There might be work interference here, work demands. This is work about, it's very fulfilling to you. It's about bringing some part of yourself into the world. There's a real woodworking vibe here. This normally it's like a Tinkerbell vibe, but we have a carpenter, a woodworker vibe. So there's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of, you gotta solve the math problem, and you gotta read every page of the book. There's just work. There's work, and there's a lot of it in your environment. A lot of effort needs to be put into things. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's distracting from this, or maybe you're just really annoyed at the amount of work that something's taking, and you'd like it to be done already, but work. So it's work's either distracting you or creating problems for something else to move forward, or it's or this whole situation is just a lot more work than you thought. It is pretty absorbing work, and you are pretty lucky to have it, actually. And then your to-do list. Your to-do list here, the energy you're supposed to interact with, King of Wands. So there's a level of mastery here. There's leadership here. There's unlikely leadership, possibly. You need to take a leadership role. Wands are about inspiration, communication, energy movement, right? We have do something to change your energy. Knight of Wands are about energy, they can be about impulse. They can move very quickly, right? Because energy can move very quickly, be transferred from one object to another very quickly. Energy can be about inspiration and that spark of life, that lightning bolt that ignites Frankenstein's monster and brings it to life. So there's something very lively, very energetic here, and there's a leadership from a very natural, intuitive place, energy. So you need to change your energy, and do something to change your energy. So there's taking a leadership role, maybe even of your own energy, and it affects everyone around you. Take leadership of your own energy instead of being annoyed by this process, instead of being frustrated by the amount of work something's taken. Changing the energy around it. And if it's a group activity, if you are already in a leadership position in a group, that energy ripples out and affects other people too, and it affects the whole thing. So your job, your to-do list, what you're looking for, an opportunity, an opening, right? We don't need to push this. We don't need to run towards it or apply it to the next thing we see. We're looking for an opening we'll recognize it. We'll see it. We'll be like, oh, that's what I need to do. That's what Empress Rose was talking about. That's what the cards are saying, is this is where I shift my energy. And this is where my leadership can come from, this lively, excited energy, right? Because if we've been frustrated and complaining, that's an energy that we've been bringing to a situation that imbues that situation or that group or that work with that energy. So we want to be very careful with the energy and showing a level of mastery over your energy. I mean, you come as you are, right? But there's also a sense of coming as you are and accepting that and loving that, and coming as you are and being annoyed that you are like this, or annoyed that this is like that, right? There's a certain acceptance and an ability to move energy. And so this could also be a creative process, taking leadership in a creative process. And I'm just seeing here, be very mindful of the energy you bring to that. Do not bring this impatient, annoyed energy to it. Being very mindful of the energy you bring to anything you're leading, or any leadership, anything you're in charge of, anything you initiate, being aware of that. Where you're possibly going? 7 of Cups. What? A lot of options. Debating which thing's going to make you most happy. 7 of Cups. We've got our little angelic debate teams here. We've got the pro and con team. We've got one thing that's just really obvious, really blessed, but you might get a little distracted here. You know, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? There was an initial intuitive choice here, and now there's like some distraction of like, well, I guess that could be good, and some sort of debate over what's going to bring you the most happiness. So there's a little bit of confusion and a little debate over what's going to bring you the most happiness, but there was an intuitive, right? And this guy is the master of intuition here. There was an intuitive hit early on. So go with that. That one would be the obvious one, but then we kind of get muddled on into the debate. The debates are good. The pro-con lists are good. Just make sure you throw them out and go with your intuition at the end of the day. Well, I just said show your work, and now I'm like, and then throw it out and then just give the answer that you knew it was at the beginning. But there's something about having to do the work here, having to put the work in. There's something about divine timing and having to put the work in and having to have patience, and having to explore a couple different options. Even though you kind of have an intuition about the one you want, you might be like, you know how some kids are like, they look at the math problem and they know the answer and they do it in their head. You might be capable of that in the situation, but it's clearly saying you got to show your work. You got to have the open debate. You got to take your time. You got to show your work, right? We have, I've said show your work 4,000 times, and then this is what we're getting in your external. Literally external, show your work, making it visible. So there could be some emotional overwhelm, or some sort of a lot of overwhelming choices coming up, in which case you would definitely want to be in your King of Wands energy, leading from an intuitive place. Like, you still got to show your work, but if you know the answer, you know the answer. But there's something about doing the work, talking about it, working it through, making the pro-con list, and still at the end of the day going with your intuition. So, all right, Leo, I hope that was helpful for you, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks.